Good morning, everyone. So it was a Manchester derby. It was a shock. Liverpool, it looked like they're in trouble again. Chelsea's new era looks like it's beginning, and Arsenal still pull away at the top. So I will say this Premier League Saturday had everything, but we're going to start from the derby, the Manchester derby. And Manchester United beat Manchester City 2-0 in the 198th Manchester Derby at Old Trafford. And United's win came in Michael Carrick's first game back as head coach until the end of the season. So the goals were scored by Brian Mbomo, Patrick Dorgu. Goals were scored in the second half because the first half the scoreline was 0-0, and in the second half, Brandon Mbeumo scored the first goal for Manchester United in the 65th minute. Patrick Dorgu, he scored the second goal in the 76th minute. And even, oh my God, okay, so a third goal was scored, but it was disallowed due to offside. So what does it mean? Right now, well, the victory moves Manchester United into the top four and simultaneously hampers City's title bid. Well, let's take a look at the table, the Premier League table. Of course, Arsenal, they're leading the table with 50 points. Oh, Man United, they are now in fifth place with 35 points. So, what are the other headlines, the other news that's out there after Man United's victory over Manchester City? So, the it we will start from ESPN. ESPN wrote Michael Carrick masterminds Man United derby win over Manchester City. I'm sure many people expected Manchester United to lose the game at Old Trafford, but it's what you get with Man United because you never know what to expect, and that was unexpected. That was entertaining, and I'm sure that made many Arsenal fans, if not all, very happy. The fact that Manchester City lost to Manchester City lost to Man United. So when it comes to the article, well, it's for instance, it tells us that Erling Haaland's substitution was cheered by the Old Trafford faithful, who then saw Dado hit upright while Mason's goal was ruled out for another offside in stoppage time. I thought it was 3-0, but then it ended up being 2-0. So, in a nutshell, Michael Carrick was able to achieve his first victory, and it's not just against anything. He was able to do it against Manchester City, and I'm sure that means a lot. So, PremierLeague.com tells us that Michael Carrick, he was a manager. Okay, so he was previously Man United's caretaker manager for 3 games in 2021, and he oversaw an impressive first half display that went unrewarded with Harry Maguire hitting the crossbar, while Ahmad and Bruno Fernandes had goals disallowed for offside. Okay, so over here, the article is explaining yesterday's match. Um, so Brian Mbomo, his finish was calm and he was able to, you know, to put the ball inside the nets, and that gave Manchester United the lead. Donnarumma, he had Tapari Dorgu's attempt from a tight angle, while Ahmad was denied by the offside flag when he struck. So Donnarumma was also impressive. I mean, especially I remember him blocking. Whose attempt was that? Was that Casemiro's? But Donnarumma did a great job yesterday. Of course, the article tells us that it's been a whirlwind a few days on the red side of Manchester after Darren Fletcher oversaw 2 disappointing results in the aftermath of Ruben Amorim's dismissal. His former midfield partner Carrick was brought in to steady the ship until the end of the season. So we will see Michael Carrick at Manchester United until the end of the season. Carrick set the Red Devils up in a 4-2-3-1 shape with Mbomo playing as a center forward. His movement against Man City's aggressive high line created plenty of openings for Dorgu and Ahmad on either flank. Um, so over there, what I just read was information about yesterday's information about yesterday's formation. It sounds funny when I say it. So, what are the key facts? Man United have lost just one of their last six games against Man City in all competitions. They were able to win three of their last games against City. Um, and they drew two. So with this, their first victory against the citizens at Old Trafford since January 2023. So they beat City 2-1 in 2023, and this will be their first victory at Old Trafford against their City rivals. So, of course, Michael Carrick remains unbeaten as a Man United manager. In the meantime, no opponent has Pep Guardiola lost more games in his entire managerial career against Manchester United. So 10 defeats also versus Liverpool and Tottenham. Now, let's talk about Haaland. Of course, he did not score yesterday. And the reports tell us that he only had 14 touches in this game, and it says that he has gone seven consecutive appearances without a non-penalty goal in all competitions. I'm sure he'll get back to his impressive form. I don't think we should worry that much about Haaland because that man is he's skilled. He knows how to score. The headline from Reuters says Arsenal held but got 7 points clear. Carrick inspires dominant derby win for Manchester United. Of course, Arsenal, I feel like they should have won the game. They did not, but like it's okay. They're still, the leaders. They're still in first place. So they were held to scoreless draw by Forest, but they still go 7 points clear. And Carrick's return it inspires dominant United derby, Manchester derby win, and Chelsea and West Ham secure crucial victories. The thing is, Arsenal they could have gone 9 points clear with a win at Nottingham Forest, but they were only able to secure a draw, and well, Mikel Arteta just became uh, not became they were just unable his team was unable to score any goals. So after the match, Arteta said we tried to at the end to find a goal. I don't think we conceded a single shot again, but that's the margins, and we did not find a way to win it. That's what he had to say. Um, so, and let me share what Karik said after the game. He said today was special. Indeed, it was. It's one result, but it needs to be a regular feeling with that level of performance. And when it comes to Manchester City, of course, their captain Bernardo Silva, he said, "A really bad game from us. They were much better than us and deserve to win today." Okay, now let's go to Liverpool. Of course, Liverpool they led by Florian by the goal scored. Okay, they started leading thanks to Florian Wirtz's goal, uh, uh, but then the end result was a draw. So I don't think that makes them happy. Yeah, maybe let me read some of the headlines from yeah the headlines for Liverpool maybe, but uh, I'm trying to decide whether okay. Oh, another controversial thing that was mentioned or that was written, it's from Sky Sports. Of course, if you guys have watched the game, you will understand what I'm about to say. Okay, so the headline says Pep Guardiola bemoans lack of energy and suggests that Diego Dalot should have seen red for Jeremy Doku challenge. That's what it says. So Let's go there. So Pep Guardiola said the better team won. They had energy we did not have. Congratulations to them. Of course, he's congratulating Man United. And they have the chances at the end with crosses. We know they are a transitional team, but in general, they were better. They start really strong. That's normal. They never made a threat, crosses or movement, but that's part of the energy. Now, this is what he said. Of course, VAR rule. VAR did not give him a red card. Michael. Okay, so the Premier League Michael Dean said should have been 100% resulted in a red card. Okay, so let's hear what Pep Guardiola said. He said he should be sent off. It's a red card since the game. It's a red card since the game, but it will be poor as a manager. I've never been that. If you analyze that to win or to lose a game, okay. So I thought he was talking about the red card. Okay, so Guardiola continues. I say to Michael and all the players right now here, they deserve that change. It's a red card, definitely, but that will not make us grow up. The new players knew exactly what they had to do, but it is what it is. Okay, so it's about the red card. Now he's talking about it. I could say that the red would have changed the game and blame. We will not grow up, we will not move forward. But what happened is not a surprise at all for me, but it is not happened, but it has not happened in the past. Let's move on to another news, I guess. So, in a nutshell, Manchester City lost to Man United at Old Trafford. And Pep Guardiola also said that his team lacked energy and failed to match Manchester United's intensity. So, what is the wider implication of this result? Well, this result is, of course, seen as a major moral boost for Manchester United, and maybe it's going to be a possible turning point under Michael Carrick. And for Manchester City, this loss it significantly may dent their Premier League title hopes. May because Arsenal also dropped 2 points, and it's probably going to leave them further behind. Current leaders Arsenal and United's win. It's their first in a derby this season, and it also comes after an earlier 3-0 defeat at the Etihad. So I'm sure that win made each and every Man United fan happy. Another thing is, Michael Carrick was widely praised for a sharp tactical plan, instilling belief at Old Trafford in his first game in his comeback role. Of course, many articles were telling us, that the expectations of Michael Carrick were very high because they wanted to see Man United play, and they wanted to be like, oh, okay, so that's Man United because Ruben Amorim was not willing to change his strategy, his tactics, and people were, they wanted Michael Carrick to bring something different, but it's like take us back to the Man United we know. And another thing is, of course, CT boss Pep Guardiola. He acknowledged Man United were better on the day, and he nominated the team's lack of cutting edge and energy. So, of course, Man United had a goal disallowed, but they were able to maintain strong control. And when it comes to Manchester City, they struggled to convert possession into chances. Now let's dive our focus, our attention to Liverpool. So Liverpool won, Burnley won, and this result was uh, scored. It, this game happened at Anfield, and the champions were held by a struggling team despite dominating the match. And that is, according to the reports from Reuters, the headline says Liverpool paid the penalty as Burnley drew extends winless run. So Liverpool, of course, they dominated possession, but they failed to capitalize on chances. I was happy that Verts won the game yesterday. I was happy that's the same on the score sheet, but then they were not able to get to take the 3 points. So the possession was 73% Liverpool and 27% Burnley. How disappointing would that be for? How disappointing that is for Liverpool. So another thing is XTK scored, but his goal was disallowed for offside and handball. Um, Now after the match, of course, verse he scored, but then he said it feels like a defeat. When we had so many shots and so many on target, I think we had to score more goals. But some days are like this. You try everything, but in the end, it doesn't go in the goal. That's what he said. I mean, of course, I'm sure he wants his team to win rather than just scoring and dropping 2 points, because at this point, it feels like they can take all the points they can get, and so these are just these are just some of the quotes. We have another quote, but I don't think you guys would care to listen. So Florian Wirtz, he was able to open the scoring just before halftime and continuing his recent good form. And this happened also last time. He scored, but his team did not win. But Burnley's Marcus Edwards, he equalized in the second half with their only shot on target. That is according to Wow. Burnley, they had only one shot on target and they were able to make it count. That's quite impressive. So Liverpool, they remain unbeaten in 12 matches in all competitions, but the draw marked their fourth Premier League installments in a row. So, what are some of the tactical points and reactions? So, dominance did not translate to a win. That's a fact, because Liverpool had 73% possession, while the other team, which is Burnley, only had 27% of ball possession. So they were not able to translate this dominance into a win. They had heavy possession and multiple chances, but they could not break Burnley down with a missed penalty, and Liverpool fans frustrated at full time. So yeah, uh, Dominic Szoboszlai, he missed a penalty. So it says Liverpool were left ruining a missed penalty by Dominic Szoboszlai in Saturday's 1-1 draw with a lowly Burnley, the hosts for his Premier League installment in a row. But I mean, I feel like every Liverpool fan loves Szoboszlai, so I don't think they're mad at him. Yeah. Um, but that's yeah, so that might have left some fans frustrated at full time. When it comes to Ernest Slot, he publicly shared the frustration of fans and himself, and he tried to underline that results like this are unacceptable for a club of Liverpool stature. So I understand what he says. I mean, I get his. So the article from Reuters, the headline says Slot shares fans' frustration as Liverpool held again by struggling Burnley. Burnley were not even that good. So this is what he said. In my head, it was not a boo, but in my head, it was frustration as well. And he said, "We're Liverpool. We played against Burnley, and we have to give them credit for how they defended, cleared balls off the line, and all the things you want to see if you are a Burnley manager. But if we, as Liverpool, are not disappointed anymore by having a draw at home against Burnley, then something is completely wrong. I completely understand the frustration. I can tell you, I have the same, and the players definitely have the same frustration as the fans have." And then he continues to say, okay, so over here, yeah, I think there was one big warning sign when we almost scored an own goal, and that chance the goal we conceded came from a similar situation. So in short, Ernest Lott is also sharing his frustration. He's trying to remind maybe his players that they're playing for Liverpool, and it's almost embarrassing for them to draw against Burnley, a struggling Burnley at Anfield. So some supporters, some of them voiced displeasure at another dropped home result, particularly against, promoted sides. And well, Dominic Szoboszlai's penalty, it hit the crossbar, and Liverpool, they wasted also other opportunities, including efforts blocked on the line or the attempt that was disallowed by that was disallowed, which was scored by Ekitike. So, what are the implications? So, the point keeps Liverpool in fourth place in the Premier League, but the extended run of draws has raised questions about their ability to consistently secure victories. So, their next competitive match will be in the Champions League. They will face Marseille on Wednesday, and winning there now it's even crucial. Let's move on to Arsenal. What are the headlines from Arsenal's news? So, Arsenal, they were held to a 0-0 draw by Nottingham Forest at the City Ground in the Premier League fixture. I expected Arsenal to win this match, if I'm being honest. I really, really expected them to win, but that did not happen. So, of course, they dominated possession and they were able to create numerous chances, but at the end of the day they were not able to find the net, and that's all that matters. I mean, you can it's like it's it's like Liverpool's reality, but over here it's different because they're still at the top of the table. So Arsenal had 60% goal possession, and on the other hand, Nottingham Forest 40%. Arsenal had 9 shots on target, and three of them, not 9 shots, and three of them were on target. Nottingham Forest 4 shots, but none of them were on target. So I'm sure this was a very disappointing result for Arsenal, but still the draw it extended their league at the top of the Premier League to 7 points, because Manchester City lost earlier in the day, and the the main point is the Gunners struggled to convert their opportunities. For instance, with Bukayo Saka coming closest before his header was saved. So, in short, they were held, and um, so what else? So Bernard, yeah, um, not about this. Okay, so Arsenal, there it says a headline from Reuters: Arsenal frustrated by feisty Forest, but move 7 points clear at the top. Yeah, they're still the league leaders. They're still number one. That has not changed. Maybe that's something they can tell themselves, because they have a huge chance of winning the game. But this gap might decrease if I think it's Villa in the second place when it comes to the Premier League table. So maybe that will change, but we will see what happens. Okay, so I think Villa's game is either on. It's either going to take place on today or tomorrow. Let me check my calendar. So today's Sunday, and Aston Villa will host Everton today. So they will face Everton on Sunday, and we will see whether that 7 points gap is going to stay the same, or if things are going to change. Now, uh, Reuters gave plaudits to Nottingham Forest's defense and their goalkeeper. The article says he played well to keep a clean sheet, where Arsenal did the same. But I mean, especially their fans, I'm sure expected. Their fans wanted their team to win. That did not happen. I mean, it would have been very nice. It would have been really nice for them to have won the game. So Forrest, he pulled off a superb save to deny Arsenal players. So what are the talking points? Well, now there is frustration in the title hands. Arsenal, they failed to capitalize on Manchester City's defeat, and this is not the first time that happened, because last time they, Manchester City lost the point. They dropped a point, and Arsenal were not able to again snatch 3 points. So this happened again, and a win would have put them 9 points clear, but now they are forced to settle for seven. Their manager, Mikel Arteta, he expressed his frustration at missed chances and the team's inability to break Forest down, because but this was their chance to capitalize on Manchester City's loss. So Mikel Arteta said, "We came here to win the game," and this is according to the report from Reuters. He said, "We came here to win the game, and again, we have not managed to do that." And credit to them the manner that they are organized. And then he continues to say, "When you have the big four chances that we have with Gabriel Martinelli, an open goal, Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, Bukayo Saka, and at the end, you have to find the margin to win the game, because again, we have not considered a single shot on target." But the team did not score a goal. So, and another thing he mentioned was the fact that they were denied a penalty. So he said it would be okay. So this is Sean, Force manager. He said it would be very, very disappointing if that penalty was given, and I would be unbelievably delighted if that was given for us. I did not expect that. That's actually funny. Okay, so that's what he had to say to Forest's manager. Now, Arsenal created several opportunities, but they could not finish, and that highlights the ongoing issue in attack despite overall control. And this match continued a trend of Arsenal struggling to find the net in recent league games. So, still, Arsenal stay top of the Premier League standings, 7 points clear with 50 points with 22 games, and their nearest rivals failed to close the gap but dropped points, which prevented them from really opening up a big title lead. So the implication of this draw means Arsenal missed a chance to build a crucial cushion in the title race, especially with top challengers faltering earlier in the day. They saw the results. They knew that Man United was, trying to help. Man United was trying to really help Arsenal win the league. Man United were like, okay, so we did our job. Now it's your turn. But Arsenal were like, no, we're good. Let's move on to Chelsea. Chelsea is being led by their new manager, and yesterday they beat Brentford at Stamford Bridge 2-0, so they secured a valuable Premier League victory at Stamford Bridge in Liam Rossinior's first league match in charge. João Pedro, he scored the first goal in the 26 minutes, and then Cole Palmer, he scored a penalty in the 76 minutes, and the Blues, did I say the Blooms? The Blues, they climbed to sixth place in the table. So it's 2-0 to Chelsea, nil Brentford. But an article from ESPN tells us that the visitors, they could count themselves mightily unlucky to be making the short trip back across West London with nothing. So they left with nothing. But and for Chelsea, I mean, they were a difficult team. I think it was on a Wednesday, right? When they faced Arsenal, they were very difficult to beat when they faced Arsenal. And I'm glad this victory will make them happy, and especially for their new manager. So the article says from ESPN, Pedro showed lightning quick thinking to score when I wanted to finish the sentence, but let's move on. So, um, what else do we have here? Okay, so Palmer did the honors from the spot for 2-0, and Chelsea had to go out of jail. And let's take a look at the reports from Super Sports. So of course, Brentford dominated large periods, but they were wasteful in front of goal, which works in Chelsea's favor. While Chelsea managed only a handful of clear chances. That is what Supersport wanted to focus on. So the headline from Supersport says Chelsea ride luck to beat Brentford in Coach Rosinier's league debut. So that was Rosinier's first league match, and he claimed victory. So another yeah, okay, so after a run of 9 league games with only one win, most of which was under their former coach Enzo Maresca left Chelsea on January 1. It has not even been a month. Chelsea managed only 2 attempts on target all game, with Brentford on top for much of each half. So uh I mean, what else do we have? What else do I want to share with you guys? Okay, so the Brentford coach after the game, he said, "We just were not clinical enough with the chances we had. We did not give up anything at the other end. I'm proud of the performance levels. The growth of the team is there for anyone else to see." But like, your team could play beautiful football, but at the end of the day, unless your team is able to score, then it's going to be a no. Because look at Arsenal. They could have easily taken advantage of City losing at Old Trafford, but they dropped 2 points again. Yeah, so there is that. And let's go back to another headline. So, not just another headline. So, the reactions. Rosenior, he admits their performance lacked fluency. So the new Chelsea boss, he acknowledged his side did not play free-flowing football, and he also pointed to an illness affecting several squad members as one reason for struggling in the second half. Even though we got the job done, he said we got the job done, but we had problems, but still we got the 3 points, and at times that's all that matters. Um, so what does the reaction tells us from Chelsea fans? So reaction to the performance was mixed, with some praising the result and defensive solidity, and others are still unhappy with Chelsea's limited attacking sharpness and overall style. If you're a Chelsea fan, I'm going to say this: at least you guys won the match. But as a fan, you have the right to feel however you want to feel. So let's move on to the wider context and what it means for Chelsea. It was important. It was such an important win. This was Chelsea's first Premier League victory since mid-December, halting a worrying run of results, stabilizing their position in the top half. And another thing, we've got another news. So it's a transfer talk. Chelsea, they are reportedly pursuing Rennes defender Jeremy Jacquet. I hope I said his name correctly. So, with a potential fee of at least £55 million, as the club looks to strengthen defensively amid injury problems. Mm, so it says, the article is from TalkSport. So it says Chelsea are told they must pay at least £55 million to sign key January transfer targets, and the player has informed Rennes. I hope I'm saying this club's name correctly, by the way. He informed his current club that he would like to join Chelsea this winter. But the Blues will have to fork out at least £55 million to sign the 20-year-old defender. So maybe we'll see this defender in Chelsea's jersey soon. But the thing is, according to TalkSport sources, Rennes Someone tell me how to pronounce this club's name. So this team has now planned to sell this player, whose name is Jacquet, this month, who has a contract that runs until 2029. That's a very long time. Um, so the League One side are hoping for a record fee surpassing 64 million pound, which is going to be around 55 million. Okay, so it's 64 million euro, which is going to be around 55 million pound. Uh, yeah, okay. So we have that. If you guys are interested to know, I mean, especially if you're a Chelsea fan, what are the expectations? Well, maybe Jeremy Jacquet will join your club. So I think I think that's it for today. Manchester United, congratulations. Arsenal, well, we expected more from you guys. And Chelsea, congratulations. So congratulations are in order for Chelsea and Man United. City, well, I still consider City one of the most powerful teams. Like whenever I watch a game, a City game, I feel like they're going to score. They're going to find a way to win. They failed to do that yesterday, and I'm sorry, City fans, but it was very entertaining to watch. So thank you for the entertainment, and see you in the next one. Bye bye. What? I did not.